I used to think when I was really younger, I used to think that I believed in love so much because of what I used to see between my parents.
Aww.
Before I grew up and I saw that the world is a lot different than that.
What's up? This is Saige with young Jonn in New York.
Yo, and we're on the street walk with Saige. Jiggy.
Young Jonn.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Do you remember my name?
Remind me, I'm bad with names.
Okay, so don't I have an S on here or is it like stuck up here? Does this help at all? Probably not. It starts with an S. Okay, it's Saige.
Saige.
Are you gonna remember it in 20 minutes when we're done?
I will never forget again.
Okay, we'll see. I'll test you. All the way from Nigeria.
Yep.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Although this is actually your last day here, right?
Yeah, I left tonight, but I'll be back soon though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so young Jonn just called me today. He was like, I need some extra exercise before the flight. Can you help me out? And I said, yeah, let's go for a quick walk, right?
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. Is there anything that you want to start off with?
Well, basically, my album just dropped, Jiggy Forever. That's my debut album.
Jiggy Forever. Yeah, debut album. But you've had music.
Yeah, a lot of music. Yeah, I've had 2 EPs out.
Yeah. Before we dive into like becoming an artist as opposed to producer and everything, what do you want to tell us about Jiggy Forever?
Jiggy Forever is like my friends and I used to call ourselves Jiggy when we were younger. Like Jiggy is kind of like a lifestyle. Jiggy just means fresh, fly, active. Like so, Jiggy Forever is like, regardless of what's happening in life, you're always gonna be jiggy. You're always gonna be fly, active, happy. Nothing is gonna bring you down. So that's basically what it is.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Yeah, and I feel like the vibe of the album, from what I've heard, is that. It's kind of like chill. Like it's not like too wild. It's kind of laid back.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's the vibe, you know, like happy vibes, summer vibes, just active. You know?
Yeah. So, did you produce it all yourself?
No. So this time around, a lot of the ideas originally came from me, but I work with like new producers, school producers, you know, just to like bring in that new generation touch in it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Give other people opportunities, kind of?
Yeah, you know.
That's awesome. Is it weird for you or hard for you at all, going from having produced for a while to being an artist and letting someone else come in and produce your work?
It's actually fun, you know, like from being right in front of the desk to like being behind and let other people do that. So it's kind of like, it's a whole different creative process, and I feel like it's fun. I really enjoy doing it, and it gives me the chance to tap into other people's perspective and their approach and all of that, and it's really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And they're like relinquishing, like letting go of the control of the production side. Like that's not hard for you?
It's hard. Like it was kind of hard. Even working with producers, a lot of times I'm really particular about what I want. And I remember as a producer then, I used to always want to do what I want to do. I don't like when artists are like telling me to do this and do this. So sometimes I feel like I'm annoying to producers.
Well, now you know both perspectives.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So are you sick of being asked yet about like going from being a producer to an artist, or is it like comes with the territory and it's fine?
I mean, like I've gotten that question a lot of times, but I understand. Like it's fair enough. Like, everybody would want to know what the switch is like. Yeah.
Okay, that's a kind answer, but I could also understand that it would be like, all right, listen, I'm an artist now. Like, can you just treat me like that? Because I am. So everyone, shut the fuck up. I want to get right to talking about where you come from, what your home life was like. I think you grew up in a religious household, is that right?
Yeah. My dad's a pastor, my mom is a pastor. She had a school.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, the school. She was a psychologist. So I grew up in that really religious background.
Yeah, and that's also kind of like what got you into music too, right?
Yeah, I started playing drums in the church, started playing the keyboard in the church and all of that.
That's cool. That's awesome. And as far as at home, siblings, closeness with your parents, like give us a picture of like, you know, the level of happiness in your childhood, the vibes when you walked in your house.
Yeah, my household growing up was really calm, I was really happy. I used to think when I was really younger, I used to think that like I believed in love so much because of what I used to see between my parents. before I grew up and I saw that the world is a lot different than that.
So you only had like, cause they're like truly in love, you're saying?
Yeah, they were like truly like a family, you know, a really tight family until everybody got busy with life and all of that, you know, and life happened. My mom is late now.
I'm so sorry that you lost your mom.
It's fine. It happened like a while back, so I'm over it now, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Can I ask what happened?
Sure, yeah. So she died of cancer.
Oh, cancer.
Yeah, cancer. But yeah, so life happened, like I said.
Yeah.
Life just happened, and after we lost her, everybody kind of became like doing their own thing, you know. So,
Yeah. Any advice for other people as far as like dealing with grief and losing?
I mean, you just have to.
Gotta put my arm around you and move you forward past the people asking for money.
I mean, you just have to know that life goes on, and no matter how hard you grieve, nobody's coming back.
No matter how what?
Hard you grieve,
nobody's coming back. But is there like something, like when you have a moment of like missing her, or like towards the end feeling like, oh, these are my last days, like how, I don't know, any advice? Like, how did you cope with that stuff? In a healthy way.
So like, I don't think there's any appropriate way to deal with it, because it's an emotion that there's no way to deal with it.
Yeah.
You just have to live through it. I feel like time will just make everything better.
Okay.
So it never really gets better, but like, not as bad.
Yeah, okay. That's very fair. But I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
How's your dad doing?
He's alright, he's good.
Okay. So, talking about how your parents were so happy.
Yeah.
I know, I forget like when this interview was posted, but I saw you on some interview talking about how like you weren't ready, I think, to be committed to any one person, but you would be like open about like where you stand with that.
Yeah.
So do you ultimately want a love and marriage and like, what do you want?
I mean, if it eventually happens, that's fine, that's calm, because I realize in life, time changes ultimately everything. You know?
Time changes, so meaning?
Meaning like things change, feelings change, you know, like nothing really lasts forever, you know.
Nothing lasts forever, so meaning like you might not want to be with someone forever?
Yeah, at this point, like, but anything could change tomorrow, that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow I might wake up and meet someone tomorrow and decide that, oh, I'm in love. I might wake up the next day and say, I don't want to do.
So does that make you not want to commit to someone like for a marriage or long term?
Yeah, so that makes me just want to just live my life. You know what I mean? Like, because anything can happen tomorrow, you know. So I don't want to, you know, be like tied. I don't want to lead anybody astray. Let me put it that way.
Do you want kids?
Yes, I want kids.
So
I want a lot of kids.
So do you foresee that as like having kids with a lot of women? Do you foresee that as like...
Not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be a lot of women.
Okay.
You know? But like, yeah, I want kids, a lot of kids.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing there's probably not marriage in the picture, it's just like having kids with someone.
Yeah, so far, at this point, that's why I said tomorrow anything might change, but at this point, where I am right now, I don't think so.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I'm not a traditional person in all the, you know, the ways that most people are, so I can understand. But it's interesting to hear how it differs for each person.
Yeah.
The majority of the people in your life, are they traditional? Like with...
A lot of people in my life are traditional, you know. When they listen to my opinions, they're like, you must be crazy, you know. But like, I feel like there's a lot of people also that understand this, have their own ways of doing things, and understand that life, you have to do what makes you happy and do what, regardless of what society, you know?
Yeah, and it also takes sometimes like balls or strength or whatever you want to call it to be able to have those conversations with people who are like, well, why do you want to do it that way? And you have to be like, well, because this is how I feel.
Yeah, and you need to be self-aware. You need to be aware of yourself, aware of what you like. And, you know, regardless of what other people or society conform to.
Yeah, yep. I definitely understand and agree.
Yeah.
So as far as music, going back to music for a second,
Yes.
do you feel like what makes a good song from a producer standpoint is the same thing that makes a good song from an artist standpoint?
Yeah, so like regardless of producing or recording, it's creation.
You're back.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you're creating.
Yeah.
So like, and regardless of what you are creating, the most important thing is to know what you want so you can create what you want. Does that make sense? It's just
Say it
like
one more time. Let me make sure I get it.
when you're creating, you need to know what you want.
That's anything in life too.
Anything in life.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, exactly like even if you are making a product, a manufacturer, you need to like say, oh, this is what you're looking for, and then you find ways to do it. So production and music is just like the same thing. It's like drawing. Whatever is in your head is what you bring out, regardless of what it is, or you know.
Okay. So, but then, so you're saying that's regardless of whether you're a producer or an artist.
Yes, they are so much alike. It's like creation. It's like the same process. It's just different applications.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Any advice for someone who is either a producer or an artist, just to get into the business and initially start even making connections to actually, like, you know, become known to some degree? Because there's probably a lot of great artists in the world who will never gain recognition. So what do you feel like has made you be able to gain a following and create content that's actually seen and heard?
I think it's because I never stopped.
You never stopped?
Even when I was supposed to. There were so many times I would have given up or stopped or quit, but I just kept going.
When were you supposed to stop?
Okay, so like I really started music out so early.
Say it again?
I started music out really early.
Yeah.
Like I was in secondary school trying to make beats. I used to rap with my brothers, you know. Then they went to school. Then I came to Lagos. Then I was in a music studio, working there, producing for years before I met an artist. Then started producing, and I made my first hit song 2014, and it took me approximately 8 years kind of before I started releasing music. So imagine this time frame. A lot of things have happened that have made me feel some type of way, or make me feel like, but I just kept going regardless.
You're saying 8 years to go from being like actually releasing music as an artist after producing?
Yeah.
Okay. But then how did you like even make the initial connections as a producer to start producing? Like, how do you even start there?
Yeah, so I feel like, again, it's work. You just need to keep working, because my work is what took me there, you know. Like I was just working, and some guy saw that, oh, I was really young. This guy's really young, he's working so hard. Then he introduced me to his cousin that had a studio in Lagos. And this studio I was in Lagos, his factory studios, somehow coincidentally is where Olamide is a big rapper back in Nigeria. And he has like one of the biggest labels in Africa. You know, that time he was active as an artist, and I produced like a couple songs for him.
Okay.
You know? Well, I met him in that studio.
So do you feel like it's a little bit of like right time, right place while you never quit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a believer that the only person who's gonna give up on you is you.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
it doesn't matter who's like following you or believes in you until they finally do, if that even matters, because it comes down to you.
Exactly. You just need to keep going. Like that's what matters the most. Like if it's working or not. Like, because you don't know when the big opportunity is coming.
Let's talk a little bit about mental health.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good? You feel good mentally?
Yeah, I feel good.
So that's good. I'm glad. As far as you've had anxiety, right?
Yeah, I used to have so much anxiety.
And
like, I used to be so shy. You know, it was crazy.
So was the anxiety provoked by being shy?
So it was basically like social anxiety. You know, when I'm by myself, there's so much I want to do, but when I start to see people or see faces, I just get timid or stuff. I never wanted to be in like the same places with a lot of people. I like to be on my own by myself. So it was limiting a lot of things, you know. So yeah.
Do you still experience that?
Well, once in a while it pops up, but I think I'm getting used to like being able to handle it and knowing that I don't have a choice, I just have to like
push through.
Push through. Exactly.
Has there been? I know your mom, or from what I understand, your mom was a psychologist, and she was able to kind of like coach you through. Any like tools that she taught you?
Yeah, she used to give me a lot of questionnaires.
Questionnaires.
Yeah. So like every week we'd be filling questionnaires. It was just a fun thing. But I think now when I'm older, I understand that she used that to like assess our behavior or whatever. But we used to do a lot of questionnaires as just fun. She would just give us questionnaires to feel as fun. And then we'll feel it, and then she would try to explain some things to us and say, oh, you are this kind of person, you're like this, you need to do this one, you need to, just like a fun exercise, you know.
And did it help you?
It did a lot.
It was that it forced you to talk about or like acknowledge feelings? Like how did it help?
Exactly, so it's like you're unknowingly acknowledging your feelings.
Yeah,
You don't even know, but you're unknowingly like acknowledging and seeing what you need to do better, seeing what you need to, how you can make yourself better and all of that. Yeah. You know.
So do you still do anything like, is that like music for you, or do you still do anything like that to help you?
Well, once in a while I try, but like, you know, it's really difficult to like open up to people. Yeah. And you know, it's just what it is.
How do you feel now? Do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I feel good. Like lately I've been pushing through, and I mean, it's not been easy, but like, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. What do you feel like made your music video for Extra Cool get to 22 million views? Like, why that one?
Well, for some reason, people really like that song, Extra Cool, and it did. Yeah, it was number one in Nigeria, number one in Ghana, number one in Gambia, number one in Cameroon. It was number one in a lot of places, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome because I dropped the song when I was out. I was in the country when we dropped the song, and I got back and the song was so big. So it really made me feel good, yeah. So.
Okay. And how did you, or was it not you, choose the woman in that video?
Yeah, so like, quick backstory. Like, we were looking for someone because I shot the video in Valencia, that's in Spain. So we were there looking for all the models we had. Last minute, the director is like, they're disappointing us. Somehow, we were just stuck and we didn't have anybody no more. And I know I had a friend that was stayed in Italy. Okay. I'm like, are you around? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, she's never done a video before.
Oh, sir.
Yeah. I'm like, are you gonna? We need you for a video.
Okay.
And she started laughing like, for real? I was like, yeah, for real. And then she was okay, and she came through.
That's great. That's really cool. Did she like it?
She loved it.
I'm sure she did. That's really cool. Is there anything that you're going through now that we'll hear about in your music later?
Yeah, I mean, so already if you listen to my music, I feel like you can have a few clues about my life, my lifestyle, and the kind of life I live. So yeah, I think in my music, you're always going to have a clue about what my life is like.
And anything in particular right now that you're like trying to improve on?
I mean, right now I'm just working on my craft. You know, trying to make it better. Yeah. You know, trying to work on the brand. I mean, I'm traveling so often these days, trying to like meet up people. You know, trying to just push the music further. So that's really what I'm working on right now.
Has it been a challenge at all to go from Nigeria, Africa, to the US as far as getting your music out there? It's probably different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different scene out here, you know, different taste in music, different vibes. Yeah. But I feel like it's all quite similar too. You know, music is a universal language, regardless of how it sounds or even the language or whatever. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so Jiggy Forever, it's out now. Yep. Any other words about it before we wrap up? Jiggy Forever, that's my debut album. Like, I mean, and I feel so good finally putting out that project. So I hope that people feel good too when they listen to it.
Yeah. Congratulations, that's really exciting. That's an accomplishment.
Thank you.
You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Well, young Jonn, thanks for being on Streetwalks.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. It's been great.